Now look, let me explain something to you all that you already know. You know there are draconians involved in this conference calls, and we have the most profound information on the planet, right? And these devils are trying to block everybody from their ascension. I understand it's the devil's job, but I do hereby formally curse each and every one of them involved in that, in very drastic and severe ways. May they start seeing that blue and red light flash behind their eyes, and great pain start ensuing, and difficulty in hell follow them and dog them for the remainder of their presence on this planet, and eternally hereafter. In the name of Amun-Rayay, move. All right, we're going to go to chapter 6, tablet 4. Of the Holy Tablets. And we're going to go to verse 168 and 169. Apparently, they're struggling very hard to block this information. Verse 168, that's chapter 6, tablet 4, verse 168. And afterward, in the last generation, that's now the last generation, there will be another Melchizedek, that's Malachi's New York. The first of 12 elders. He's the first of the 12 elders, 169. And the last, of the 12 elders, the last is not Melchizedek, will be head of all, a great archpriest, the word and power of Anu, who will perform miracles, greater and more glorious than all the previous ones. That's chapter 6, tablet 4, verses 168 and 169. Then we fly to chapter 19, tablet 6, verse 313 through 314. Now, it might sound like this repetition, but this is not repetition because these creatures always find a way to block this type of information. No matter how many times I teach it, they try to keep it off the recordings. Do you understand? All right. Now we're going to chapter 19, tablet 6, verse 313 of the Holy Tablets. Behold, the Son of Righteousness stands before you with the scroll of Malachi, that is Malachi, that reduced the liars for their transgressions. 3:15, and who will prepare the way for the Messiah by turning the hearts of the fathers to the sons and the sons to the fathers, or else I, Malachi, will strike the earth with utter destruction. Now you are ready to move on towards the next level and ready to accept what I was giving you originally, a teaching that none could stand against. You were the meat that are here to dumbfound the wise. And so we are at the beginning, again with Sufi and Fezzes. Only now we are Sufi under the Amun, the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, the beginning of their end. You can't be fooled by any religious doctrines of any kind. That's what they're putting out. You can't be fooled by any religious doctrines of any kind. No, not nowadays. You have your first tool, this holy tablet. Not someone else's interpretation like King James, for example. Your own scripture that will dispel all the lies, causing all false things to perish, making the truth come to light. All right? Everybody hear me? Can I get a response from the class?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to go back in chapter 19, tablet 6 to verse 165. Just go back a couple of pages to verse 165. That's chapter 19 of the Holy Tablets, tablet 6, verse 165. And I read, it is my voice, this is Malachi speaking, he's the author of the Holy Tablets, or rather they came through him. He said, the master's guide my pen, remember that. 165, it is my voice that roars, with the sound of many waters saying these things. 166, I say unto you, who are faithful and true, I am the Melchizedek of all the holy prophets. Allah has sent me for what?
Mute your phone.
Mute your phone, son. Stop it. Allah has sent me to give good tidings, to prepare the way for Ha-Mashiach or Al-Masih, the real Messiah, not those fake niggas out there claiming a Messiah, and fake white folks forget about I'm the chosen one on the tarmac, and you know he's the lying devil. And to show you things which must shortly come to pass. 168, and prepare way straight for him. 169. For I have declared it in my very own scroll of Malachi. 170. In this scroll I am known as the Elohim Michael, also known as Marduk, Amar Utu, Azag, and Amun-Rayay, the grandson of the Most High, the Heavenly One. And who is the warring Elohim, whose name is Michael, means he who dares to be like El, a repeated incarnation from shell to shell, who fights on behalf of Allahu Elohim, the Most High. Behold, I have been sent to prophecy before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahuwah. Before me was Elijah. Elijah is the reverse of Yahuwah Elohim, El-Elo. The Elohim Yahuwah is the manifestation in the form of perfection. He is the Elijah for this day and time. For there were many, but because you were not ready for the many such as Elijah, the Tishbite, and we're talking about Elijah Muhammad from Sandersville, Georgia. He reincarnated for the third time. After Elijah Tishbite in Old Testament days, thousands of years ago, they brought the water down on the sacrifice, and then he ascended up in a fiery chariot with a double portion and took on the spirit of John the Baptist that incarnated again in the Jordan to baptize Yahshua HaMashiach, or Jesus the Messiah. Right? Okay. Then again in the second incarnation, John the son of Zechariah, called the Baptist. They talk about this first and second incarnation, who was not aware whom he was. And the third incarnation is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Let me read this again to you. Verse 176. He is the Elijah for this day and time. For there were many, Elijahs. But because you were not ready for the many such as Elijah the Tishbite, so when I tell you all that Moses is back, hear me good. For you were not ready for the many such as Elijah the Tishbite, I want you all to understand, nor were you ready for the Messiah, Jesus, HaMashiach. Because he said to you, you are not, it is expedient upon me that I leave you now, but I will send in my stead a comforter. That comforter was Ahmed Muhammad, the three men, right? But he said, you are not, because certainly thou art not ready for it, right? So let's go back again to 176 so you all can be clear about everything I'm trying to put in your mind at once about Moses, Elijah, and the way the Most High works. He is the Elijah for this day and time. For there were many, but because you were not ready for the many, such as Elijah the Tishbite, again, of thousands of years ago, of the book of 1 Kings, degree 18. Then again, in a second incarnation, John the son of Zechariah, called the Baptist, 180, who was not aware whom he was. None of us were aware who we were at first. 181. And the third incarnation is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That was the one in Sandersville, Georgia, that you all knew as Elijah. He was the third Elijah sent to prepare the way for myself, Malachi. And Malachi will send here you all to prepare the way for me, the real Messiah. Amun-Rayay. Nitya authority, Amun-Rayay Asa, right? Each of these was not the final Elijah because you were not willing to accept him. You were not willing to accept him, but it was all necessary for the preparation of what I am teaching you now for your overstanding and acceptance. I had to take you through several schools of learning before I could get you to this point, to get all the stories and names correct in your head. You will become sons of the Elohim, back into the family of the Elohim after the order of Melchizedek. New words were introduced and people grabbed onto them quickly and started calling themselves Nubians instead of black this or black that or Afro this or Afro that. You are Nubians, which means new beings. You are originally from Nubia. All right, now let me go back to chapter 6. Because I want to show you all how Most High works things in stages. Now, if somebody can take me to okay, just a minute. I want to go to where Melchizedek incarnated with Sufalam and all of that. Is everybody with me? Can you hear me? Can you all respond and let me know you hear me?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Kiefer, are you here?
Yes, I'm here, Messiah.
I thank you. I want everybody to respond to let me know. Let me say it again. Very evil, crooked beings are desperately working to block this information from the ears of the world. Are you following me? Very corrupt, evil beings, and they walk among us, believe me. And I curse them and even the stain that their shadow casts. Every time that they think, yes, every time they even think, I hear you, bless your soul, son. Every time they even consider thinking about blocking us or doing something negative, I will the Most High that they see these flashing blue and red lights behind their head, their eyes, and that they start ensuing great pain for even thinking negative about blocking us. Just the mere thought. Give them shooting pains and hell in their lives. They'll have accidents in their cars, in their homes where they stand, and the places that they work, and all their relationships. Everything will turn out to be hard for them. And at first they're going to think it's just bad luck. It's not. It's a curse. Now, if I'm not really the Messiah, you don't have to really worry about it. Got to start moving. You don't have to really worry about it. Just keep on being a demon. Okay. Now we're going to chapter 6. Tablet 4, verse 188. Is everybody with me in the Holy Tablets? Chapter 6,
Yes.
188, chapter 6, Tablet 4, verse 188. And when the 12th generation shall come into being, and together will be 1,070 years, and there will be born in that generation a righteous man. Now they're talking about Muhammad Ahmed. One of the three names, of course. And Ilionel, who is Anu's almighty creator, will tell him that he should go out to that mountain where stands the Ark of Utnapishtim, that's Noah, your brother, that is in the land called Turkey. And he will find there another Melchizedek, because Melchizedek keeps incarnating in different shells, like he just explained to you in chapter 19, tablet 6, verses 165 forward. He keeps incarnating too. So do we. And he will find there another Melchizedek who has been living there as a Muslim for 7 years, hiding himself from those people who sacrifice to idols in the name of Tawheed or oneness, so that they may not kill him. That's what they want to do, these evil creatures. He, means Ahmed, will bring him out, and he will be the first priest and king in the city Salem, in the style of this Melchizedek, that other Melchizedek come before, the originator of the priest, and they shall call him Al-Kedar. So we're talking about Malachi Z. York, in the shell of Malachi Z. York, the angel Michael, moved through the earth again and is delivering these holy tablets that we keep trying to tell you to get rid of, because they're outdated, like the Injil. But they don't tell you that the Holy Bible, which is the book of Satan, is outdated. But this tablet was authored and put out in 1997. Listen good. The Injil in 1994. The King James Version of the Bible was put out in the year 1611. Almost 400 years ago, but that's not outdated, according to Satan, right? He will bring him out, and he will be the first priest and king in the city Salem, in the style of this Melchizedek, the originator of the priest. And they shall call him Al-Kedar. Again, that's Dr. Malachi Z. York. The years will be completed up to that time, 3,430, and 2 from the beginning in creation of the albino Adam. So that was 6,000 years ago, right? For those that want to get more information on that, study Enki's Gold Mines by Michael Challenger on YouTube. And from that Melchizedek, the priest will be 12 in number. Every time he comes, so the priests are always 12 in number. And every time Joshua or Jesus or the Messiah comes, his disciples are 12 in number. Every time Muhammad or Ahmed comes, his Shahaba or companions are 12 in number. Okay? And from that Melchizedek, and so that the messenger himself will be the 13th. That's why they established here in the United States the 13 original colonies. The 13th floor is missing, Friday the 13th, etc. And while you have a judge and 12 jurors, the whole system and everything that they think and believe has come out of the truth. What I'm saying to you is that Pinocchio is Jonah and the whale. They don't have anything original that they created. They've stolen everything from you, including your souls and minds if you were weak. And from that Melchizedek, the priests will be 12 in number, until the great one, that is to say, the leader, will bring out everything, visible and invisible. That's what I'm doing right now, bringing out everything visible and invisible. And near overstood the first dream and believed it. And having answered Michael, he said, Blessed be Elion Elionel, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator, who has glorified you today for me. And now bless your servant near, for we are coming close to departure from this world. And take the child, and do to him just as Anu said to you. And Michael took the child on the same shadow hour on which he had come down, and took him on his wings, and placed him in the paradise of Ilion. So what he's saying is that he took the child, Malachi, or Melchizedek, which was the shell that the angel Michael was to possess whenever the Most High had a mission for him to deliver a light message to the world. Like the Holy Tablet that came through this time, the shell, Malachi, York, all right? And near got up in the daylight hours. That's not to say that Malachi is Melchizedek, but he achieved the title Melchizedek because he was chosen by the Most High to house the spirit of the angel Michael at times, periodically, to deliver light messages to you all. That's what you're receiving right now. He went into his tent, and he did not find the child. And there was said of you very great grief, because he had no other son except this one. Thus near ended his life. And after him there was no priest among the people. And from that time, great confusion arose on the earth. You see it happening in these last and final days, in the final conflict. And Elion Elionel, who was Anu, the Almighty Creator, called Utnapishtim unto the Mount Ararat, between Assyria and Armenia, in the land of Arabia, beside the ocean. He said to him, Make there an ark with 300 lackets in length, and in width 50 lackets, and height 30, and 2 stories in the middle, and its door of 1 lacket. And of their lackets 300, but ours also 15,000. And so of theirs 50, but of ours 900. And of theirs 30 lackets, but of our 50. In agreement with this numeral, the Israelites keep measurements of Utnapishtim or Noah's Ark, just as Anu said to him. And they carry out all their measurements in the same way and all their regulations, even up to the present. We're talking about the real Israelites, who are remnant of 7,000, who never bowed their knee to the image of Baal and migrated to ancient Ethiopia, Abyssinia, and they are there today as the original Jews, not those ones in Israel, the stolen land from the Palestinians. Those are Ashkenazim and Sephardim Jews, or as the Bible says, there are those of you that say they are Jews, but are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Are you following me? The original Jews are black as coal. 2:11, Anu, Elion Elionel, who is Allah, the Almighty Creator, opened the doors of the heavens. Rain came into the earth for 150 days, and the earth also did burst asunder, spitting forth much water, and all flesh died. And Utnapishtim was in the year 500. He fathered triplets, that is 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth by Naamah, and 1 year before that, Rhea was born to Wa'ala. And after the deluge, or the great flood, right, did Melchizedek come to earth again. Now, when he came back to earth, he was in a different shell. This Melchizedek is a shell, a man that's chosen every time in order to house the spirit of the angel Michael. Whenever the Creator has a mission to send him to earth to deliver a light message to the world that hopefully is ready for it by now. And the same thing it is with me and Moses and all the rest of them, Elijah. We are simply the word of the Most High made flesh in order to dwell among you, to answer your questions, to give you guidance and light, and to prove the reality and existence of the Most High by the miracles we perform and by the information that comes through us. Is everybody with me? These beings are not to be worshipped. You don't worship Melchizedek or Jesus. You don't worship these beings. These beings are examples of what to be and how to act towards your fellows, and to remember that the kingdom of heaven is within you, okay? And God is in heaven according to the Bible, so that means God is technically within you. And after the deluge did Melchizedek, verse 2:14. This is in Holy Tablets, chapter 6, tablet 4, verse 2:14. And after the deluge of flood did Melchizedek come to earth again, and here's the priesthood to initiate Abraham into the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, and he departed. He didn't die. He left. He departed. Then again he returned for the initiations of Moses, or Moshe, and his brother Aaron. So you see, he came back again in the form of another shell with the angel Michael inside of him. 2:16, then again for Yahshua, he came back again for Jesus. Then again for Ahmed, then he came back again for Ahmed. Then again for Al-Mahdi. That's also Ahmed, but that's Ahmed from 170 years ago as the Mahdi over the Sudan, who conquered the world for 7 years with his Ansar, right? And the 19th Imam after Mustafa Muhammad al-Amin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, right? Okay, so again, he returned 2:15. Then again he returned for the initiations of Moses, or Moshe, and his brother Aaron. So that was a long time ago. 2:16, then again he returned for Yahshua, or Jesus. Then again he returned for Ahmed with the Quran, right? Then again for Al-Mahdi, the one that wrote the Ratib. Finally, in the last day, that's now, he shall incarnate to seal up the lives and reveal all facts. That's what's happening right now. And you think praise belongs to you, right, man? But why? Because if you toss a cat into the air, each time it will land on its feet. Oh, you all in all, you have done all of this for me. I have the remembrance of it. I sure do. And all I long for is to return to your bosom, remembering only the sweetness of your presence. That's true. Long before this rock, that means this grisly rock called earth, grew life by your mercy. Oh, Father, your Son is weary. I tire of this cross and of the many crucifixions, that's true, and the willing crucifiers, and the many deceivers, oh, is that true, and the many deceivers, oh, Judas. I die daily, yet resurrect with the hopes of being with you, Anu, the Most High. Your will must be done on earth as it is in the heavens above. He offers them dreams of gold, yes, your gold, which only you have created. He gives them dreams of diamonds, glitter, yes, your diamonds, which only you have made. The world wars over your oil. I just want to interject one thing. You see, in the state of California, in which over a third of the automobiles are made and produced in the United States, they have already declared that in less than 25 years, they're going to outlaw all new vehicles that run on petroleum or fossil fuels like oil and gas. And you know the rest of them are going to follow. That's if California is still here, according to the fires and the weather and the droughts, etc., and the earthquakes to come. But I'm just telling you that the devil's time is up. In other words, the way he's been ruling the world is by the dirham, the dollar and the money, you know, the souls and spirits of the very weak, gullible, and evil and wicked. And he's making all his profit, a lot of it, through the fossil fuel industry like oil and gas, because if he controls your heating and your transportation and the prices at the gas pump, he controls the way you live and how you exist. But we have natural energy. Everybody knows that. And they're coming out with more green energy. And we're having more mills for power and energy. And and to get away from this fossil fuel, which they have developed, a lot of black people have developed car engines, for example, that run off water and not gas. And they have been killed for their inventions. Because the devil is trying to hold all the truth back. In fact, when you look at politics, what you call in the Democrats, which are the majority of the people in blue here, in every Democratic state, their economy is 25% larger and more productive than every red state in the country that you call the GOP, or the sleeping demons that have collected the reptiles. Not saying no Democrats are devils, but the majority of them are working, at least on the surface, for the good of the world. Now, you have to understand that these are just political groups, so don't invest any of your soul into that, because all of it's an illusion, right? Okay, let me read 221 again. That's chapter 6, tablet 4, verse 221. He offers them dreams of gold, yes, your gold, which only you have created. He gives them dreams of diamonds, glitter, yes, your diamonds, which only you have made. The world wars over your oil by the value that he placed on it. Yet I give them a string of beads with your names. That's attributes of the Most High. One for each element, 99 plus one in all, which belongs only to you. Yet they become absent with words. I fear that I tarry too long here, becoming ugly. Okay, so what happens is that, now see what happens, we as heavenly hosts, when we come here on a mission sent by the Most High, this gravity and this system is so negative and ugly and draws you downward, that even if we, as great lights, come and stay and linger too long, we start shifting and transforming and getting ugly in this. Because these ugly beings will bring ugliness out of you. You follow what I'm saying? They are ugly. And they constantly mess with you and pitchfork you and crucify you. Okay, now here's what Malachi is telling y'all. Y'all figure out which spirit this is. Yet I give them a string of beads with your names, one for each element, 99 plus one in all, which belongs only to you. Yet they became absent with words. I fear that I tarry too long here, becoming ugly. One of the spirits strong, right? So he's trying to say he's got spirits in him, and one of them is so strong he can't handle it, right? So you figure out which one that was. Ugly. Yeah. You should say that to the people. Okay. But listen to this greed. But want of matter hurts me. You know, women's bodies, money in your hand, cars and lasciviousness and all these things. Greed. Right? Now I'll tell you how bad this curse of being greedy is. I had a cousin that was an attorney. I still have the cousin, but he's no longer a practicing attorney because he was very rich. In the metropolitan area, he pulled up in his Mercedes Benz to one of his very rich clients, of course. I was on the passenger side of the car. When he opened the door, another speeding car came by and tore off his door and his left arm. And when it happened, he said, "Oh, shit, my Rolex." Not his arm. You don't want a nigger like that involved in your life, do you? Right. Because if you drown and his Rolex is going, then you know what's happening. Okay. Yet they became absent with words. I fear that I tarry too long here, becoming ugly. One of the spirits strong, but want of matter hurts me. You know, y'all want your men and your women, your cars and your money and stuff, right? But want of matter hurts me. I love you, O Father. You are love. And I love your children in you. For I am not of his world. And love is not of this world. Save those who incline themselves to thee, except for those that are drawn nigh unto the Most High. Yes, I will go on in your work, until you call me home to rest. And I showed you all a letter where Malachi was saying, "Oh, Larry's a very good brother. I love him. He'll be with me in rest. And I will try to bring on Ezekiel's will, on Elijah's chariot, as many with me who will obey. O Anu, the Most High, forgive me these tears. This thing, emotion, never felt I, until I saw beings with eyes, wishing not to see, with ears wishing not to hear, with brains wanting no truths. This sign melts my heart. Strengthen me with an undying strength, that I may remove the seals from their hearts, and may roll back the heavens. I do it all the time, that they may see glory of being with you. One is one. I'll eternally be your son." Right? Is everybody clear about what I just communicated to you?
Yeah, follow.
Okay. Can everybody else respond? Are you here?
Yes,
Yes, very clear.
Yes, I know. I heard you, son. I'm trying to get everybody else to respond.
Yes, overstand. Yes, overstand.
People are acting like they can't hear this truth. Go ahead.
I said, yes, we hear you.
I understand. So I'm trying to get everybody to understand what's really going on so they can stop all this devil foolishness here. It's not true. These people are nothing but shit on a stick. They're nothing. They're not no messiahs or nothing else. They have no connection with the Most High whatsoever. These are demons parading around in the garb of righteousness. That's all they are. They're devils. Human devils. And you all know that in your heart of hearts. You know that. You're not that lost. You know that these people are demons and produce nothing good. They're no earthly good. And they've been kicked out of the heavens and no more space found for them there. Their time is up. And the way you end their time is to seek ye the truth. Right? Know the truth, and the truth will make you free from this evil spell. Right? Okay. The name. Now, I'm going to go on a little further in this chapter so I got it because I'm finding a cadence in it tonight. Hold on. All right. Lo, the deformed, lame, the disfigured body, not hearing with the sound waves, not seeing at prism's light, incurable disease. These are the physically inherited sins of the Father, suffering upon the sons, powerful. My first perception of this abode, only three matters form a quiet small star, which they depend on for light. Oh, how they feel it is the biggest, revealing by their small perception. They're calling it not merely a sun, but the sun. And the sky is filled with stars, each one being the sun. We all were in me, moved to pity of a deep time, being asked by one of them, why have these things befallen me? Which job I answered, righteous is the still man of faith, taken from him all things edible of earth. Pains cover pains with agony, can give anguish in his heart, yet still without a sound or complaint. Then one of our brothers fallen from the illustrious light, becoming of envious fire. In other words, they want to be these men of light, these Messiah. They want to be the one, right? And they weren't sent for that, but they can evolve into that if they just be still. Then one of our brothers, fallen from the illustrious light, becoming of envious fire, dug his claws ever so deep into the flesh of Job, tearing and scratching at his faith, loathsome, and never knowing one another. The likes of them, as did my servant Job, defiled his tongue, and yet still his inner heart. Teach me to be as a mountain, ever so firm, he cried out, for I will hold firm to my true secret. He exclaimed, reaching for his own tongue, holding it with a death grip. Hold thee fast. Help me in thoughts only, he cried. to understand in that where I have erred, right? Not judging his brothers and sisters, but he wanted to have help in being able to see his own reflection in the mirror. Help me in that which I have erred, because to be in flesh is to be weak, right? Loose your tongue, my servants, for you have done no wrong. All right, so he's saying to the heavens are saying to the light bearers that they have done no wrong. Why then, asked he, be I held responsible for this body of mine? So what he was asking then, why am I going to hell and being punished for everything that I give into the flesh? Every time I give into that woman or that money or that drug or whatever it is, or that anger or whatever, why am I being punished for this? Okay? Be you and your flesh assigned to all your kind. Okay, let's read this again. Verse 11. Why then, asked he, be I held responsible for this body of mine? Clearly making a distinction between his higher self, the Aunt Ka, and his physical carnal body. So the light being wants to know, why is he being held responsible, doing a mission for the Most High, for the ugly thoughts and things that he's done on his path, walking through this saddlebag, the valley of fire and rocks? Why am I being held responsible? Because you're going to be held responsible just like everybody else is, nigga. That's it. That's all. All suffering is born on a reason. So everybody talking about, I don't know where this is coming from. Nigga, please. It's coming from some ugly thing you did or thought. Okay, all suffering is born on a reason. What you, the blind, the dark in sight, seeing not the pages of your revelations. You're not looking at what you've been doing and thinking, how will they be accounted? In other words, you can say that you're innocent, you come with good thoughts, this, that, and the other, but every time you hurt a man, woman, or a child, or even your own personage in any way, with even a negative thought, you see, you castigate that being. In other words, you have to be punished, not because the Most High is being cruel, but you have to understand that you have to do unto your brother and your sister as you would unto yourself, fool. You can't just go around hurting people and things, not even a tree. Don't you know that the essence of the Most High is in everything? You can't even hurt a bird without hurting the Creator. What are you doing? Watch yourself. Don't even step on an ant, because the meanest thing that you step on makes the very sword in the sheath of the Most High on the throne quiver. It shakes and it seethes. It's like a spider's web. I don't care where you touch it. The Most High in the center, he feels that vibration. So if you're giving it pleasure or protection or sustenance, he feels that. But if you're trying to hurt it or thinking negative toward it, he feels that. Quantum entanglement, fool. All right. Now, for not reading the writing given to them before. No, they don't want to read that right. They want to go to the Holy Bible. And of death. But never hearing nature's sounds, seas, the rushing waters against the shore, nor hummingbirds, the deep. That's why I was so happy about Patai hearing the insects loud when he was reading. Nor hummingbirds, the deep. Now for not listening, not hearing, the call at 5 Points sessions, led by agreeable lights called Imams. I am Imam Ahmed Abdullah Muhammad, right? Also, after our servant Abraham, and he with his tongue held fast from birth. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. Or Amun. Amen. Not speaking them to the needy, and legs not holding the weight, nor carrying to and fro at choice. The limbs never did run to Al-Masjid, the place of prayer, the best place on the planet Earth, to merely say thanks for abundance of agreeable. They say only 5 times lessons to 50, meaning 7.5 by choice yet, meaning to perform salat 5 times a day when it was ordained to do it 50, right? But Gabriel went to the Most High on behalf of man and said it was too much weight on them to do 50 prayers a day, and he kept begging the Creator to reduce it. He got it down to 5. He said, don't come back. I'm not dropping it no further. Okay, they say only 5 times less than 250, remaining 7.5 by choice, yet be ever watchful of Cain Zab. That's another title of Satan, Cain Zab, the demon. Ducking, second, seeking to hide from time, not counting for surely unto us you shall return. Talking to Satan now. I know deep within self, I must be about my Father's work, who is known to you as Allah, until my business for which I was sent unto the planet Earth is complete, or completes me. Getting a late start, and I did get a late start because my time started in 1970, but nobody informed me of that. And just like Elijah, I was in the flesh, but I didn't know what was inside of me. And when I discovered, by the will of the Most High, that I was the return of Aqua to 3 Mims, Al-Hayu, Yah Al-Hayu, the life giver, and then that's when Malachi or Panabab, revealed to me. He said, yes, it's true. You are indeed Aqua, but don't get hung up on that, because that's only a very small part of what you're becoming. And thus I am who I am, right? Getting a late start, yet arriving early, will accomplish plenty in the instructions of the old ones. 4 and 20, talking about the 24 elders, now making 140 and 40. Talking about the 144,000 I was sending a raise, right? That's you all. 144,000. Then on to another sick world, drunk in sin. So those of you with me, you might be thinking, oh, I'll be glad when this is over. But let me explain. We'll have a respite and enjoy ourselves. But after you rest up, on again to another drunk world, another evil, sinful world, drunk in sin. So this is one project and a great, we got to clean up the whole creation from all these filthy things. Never divorce I from your love, ever trying planet to planet, galaxy to galaxy, not to disappoint thee, always being mindful of the slightest slur, knowing of the seed that bred the fig tree and the olive tree, knowing also indeed what you sow, so shall you reap. O you supreme and glorious, most high, none has majesty, none has power to sustain except you. Right? So are you all beginning to wake up a little more?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
It's important that you do. It really is important that you do. Okay. Now, we're going to go to the I love this here about Sarah the Rose and the artist, right? So I'm going to chapter 6, tablet 8. And I'm doing this for my personal pleasure and for your enlightenment, right? So reflect on this wisdom. It's page 526 in the softback. Chapter 6, tablet 8. The artist. Lo, O you builders, not better than the real artist. And you governors, no better than the artist. O you physician, no better than the artist. Walter, are you here tonight?
I'm right here.
Okay, you got your tablets, okay. O you builders, not better than the real artist. And you governors, no better than the artist. O you physicians, no better than the artist. O you thinker, you are the artist. Let me say it again. O you thinker, you are the artist. Let me tell you of the artist. Oh, that poor artist. She sits there trying to capture a point in time in a season as beautiful as it may be. Dear Master Anu, my father, can I impart on this artist the truths that even thinking consumes time? Can I tell her time won't permit such an act? You know, you try to capture a scene in nature, a tree gracefully falling from a tree and spiraling down to the grass in the park. But you understand, that's just a fraction of in time. You can't capture everything. Or shall I let him just paint on? Fool that they be, thinking from a mind of no thought, from a heart of no feeling, from a hand of no talent. Yet you watch her ever so careful, the season, ever trying to capture her expression. As she turns second by second to dip her brush, the centuries pass in the form of second to the face of nature, never again to be the same. And the color of the leaves changed. Oh, provider, can I provide her with this small truth? She is going 4 different ways. At once, I came upon brothers and sons of mine. Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum, O new school, Gabriel, son of Raphael and Zamael. O Raphael, son of Waquipel and Fiquael. O Kalkael, who is also called Ridwan. And Uriel, son of Azariel and Rafikiel. And O Inki Israel, son of Anu and Id. Even then, one fallen brother, Azazel. Think of Denzel Washington, the fallen, that was Azazel, Satan. Oh, how his life was changed to the fire of hate. So full of hate he is. Yet they love him ever so much, not knowing who he really can be, pulling them over downward, and they're loving it much more each day. I see even now the crime souls of the children of beings who are yet unborn, yet they suffer for what they do now, even to the fourth generation of those that hate me, right? One of voice cried to me to help in the year of the time of the lunar logging 1980 and 3 in the Gregorian calendar from the Faith Hollow place to help in that location where there is revolution inside the planet Earth. And I turned to another place, a dark hollow hole, turning again to an apt servant of Anu. Yet upon him I could smile for his grace. Glory be to Anu alone. He has perfected him from his parents that live this day on Tiamat, the planet Earth. And he answered me, saying, all the praise to be to Anu, for you who are the other, which come they from 2 parts. I cry very loud for them from Malachus, from among the angels. Look back, I will find in mind in what they called time. I came to earth again in the lunar logging of 1970. You know, we came here. There was 29 of us that day of the opening in 1970. I came to earth again in the lunar logging of 1970 of the Gregorian calendar at age 20 and 5. I had been to earth many times before the scriptures. I saw evil waiting for Zachar, Adam, to be born. As the pollen lightning every time in different XX female beings. So they didn't drop out the sky like fat white babies with wings. They came through genetically, like on Mount Hermon, impregnating myself into a human being in the lunar logging of the 1945th year in the Gregorian calendar. Growth, feel, eating, strange burnt things, spiced, eating and making odd gestures to describe what is called feelings. Now I feel as they do, I think as they do, and I eat as they do. I pull my spirit, yet unborn son, ever so high, then down to the planet Earth, looking through the lens called the third eye. See the pyramids from above, laid we every stone. Who are we? We are you and me in one, the Elohim. I'm not in power to say more. Oh, the giver of power is Anu. May I tell you of sending the sound, the very words back to describe the Holy Scriptures. I thank your name in the way only you understand it. Read on in this holy tablets, for it is in this true story of all that happened. Not understood that way, we again had said, come up. Let this exact moment, with tears in his eyes, with a cleansed heart, show him our home. So we did take that Jacob, son of Isaac and Rebekah, up to show him. And how many of you all have I taken up out of your body? Katat, have I taken you to risk before?
Yes, you have.
Why do you all say it again?
I said, yes, you have.
All right. Hotep, have I taken you up out of your body before? Let them hear it. What's the answer? You have to tell them. Anubis, have I taken you up out your body before? He didn't hear you.
Yes.
Hotep?
Hotep?
Yeah. See, that's the heater there that's hanging up. They don't want to hear that. You hear me start moving? They don't want to hear that. About how many of you all have received healings through me. They don't want you. They don't want the world to know that because they're too busy pretending to be what they're not. Right?
Yes, yes.
We've all received healing.
Say it again, Goddess.
I said we've all received healing from you.
That's right. I love you. You have, and I'm glad to do that because it's my job, and you are my family. But what it is man is so involved in this physical plane that he dreams of seeing a patient on the operating table, corrections being made. But he doesn't till now begin to realize that the patient on the table is him or her. Right? Okay. Harry, what say to you? How many times I think you have to write?
There was quite a few times that he took me out of my body.
Right. And I've taken him up out of that deep hole I pulled, and I'm still pulling you all up heavenward. Sent us to him with our mutual phones. Mutual phones. Then I said, okay, 37. Sent us to him, 36. Okay, we're going to read 35 again. I thank your name in the way only you understand it. Read on in this holy tablet, for it is the true story of all that happened. Not understood, not understood that way. We again had said, come up. Let this exact moment with tears in his eyes, with a cleansed heart, show him our home. So we did take that ticket, son of Isaac and Rebekah, up to show him. 36. Then I said, remember Achmed, marked by the mole on his back, sent up to him of our better parts, facts beyond any doubt, and a truth unchangeable, and not to be much in this world, let not use you, not it, right? Not understood that way, we again said, come up. Let this exact moment with tears from his cleansed heart show him our home. Remember the one we call Yahshua, known as Tammuz as Jesus. He's called by you in the Latin language Jesus, or Ios in Greek. That is Isa in Arabic. He was a different member, being mixed from this to that world. Matter, yet not matter. Human being, yet not human being. Speak as a babe with Ba, soul, right? The Holy Soul as a helper, and his strength. Remember the one you called Musa, son of Amran of Jochebed, from fire like light did Yahuwah of Elohim speak unto him from what looked like a burning bush. The burning bush was actually the angel Gabriel standing next to a bush, and his illuminated aura made the bush look like it was on fire. One of you was he whole. In other words, he sent messengers here from heaven that were whole angelic beings, and then he sent those like Yahshua or Muhammad that had mortal parents, so like Jesus. The father, he had three parents. He had his mother, Miriam, that was specifically prepared to be able to handle a light being, and then he had his physical father, Joseph. But like my mother said, the night that was being conceived, she felt another presence in the room with my father that was overshadowing her. Same with Miriam. Joseph did overshadow her, but it was the angel Gabriel. That is an angelic being that is replicated over and over again for any world that's ready for the presence of that type of a light being. When they raise up in vibrations, they're ready to receive that message. Now, on these different crafts, they have artificially taken the semen out of the original Jesus. And they have cryogenically preserved all these specimens on many crafts. So when they go to different worlds, they take the angel Gabriel, that is a prototype, like Melchizedek's, is a bunch of them, and then they thaw out the specimen of Jesus' semen, and they inject it into his testicles, and then he incarnates by lowering his vibration on that certain world, like Earth, and then he goes in unto Mary, Hail Mary, and he lifts up her robe and goes in unto her. With Melchizedek there watching, and I've had that happen in many visions, me having sex with a certain female and Melchizedek standing there watching, and I was very, uneasy, upset, didn't like it, right? I didn't like that idea because I thought it just didn't seem, I felt cheapened or something, like I was being played with or something, I didn't like it. But that's what Gabriel did. And then she gave birth to that which was renowned. She gave birth to Yahshua HaMashiach. So he was mixed. He wasn't just a pure, but Gabriel was his father as well. And that's where he got that special part from him that lit him up with people could see his aura. He could heal, walk on water, But now, incarnating in the last days, much more powerful as the last elder, performing miracles greater and more glorious than all the previous ones, including his own previous incarnations. Are you understanding that? Right. Remember the one you called Musa? That's Moses. Son of Amram and Jochebed, from fire like light. Did Yahuwah of Elohim speak unto him from what looked like a burning bush? One of you, was he whole? Now he didn't have earthly parents. We taught him how to build and how to control his speech. Then he communicated with Moses, the son of Amram and Jochebed, from his seed, the seed of Abraham, teaching him about the creation, and gave him the tablet of true light as they turned to worship as the confused Egyptians and evil Babylonians, a heifer, a bull, a cow. So even when Moses was up to the mountain to speak to the Most High in person, when he came back down with the 10 commandments, were actually 610 commandments. They were all down there frolicking, getting drunk, and then took the gold, melted it down, made a heifer, a cow, a sacred cow, a bull, and were worshiping that which they made with their own hands. They were having sex and talking. They turned into a drunken mob, an orgy, right? Remember the great one called Abraham, son of Terah, and Nunah, called by you Ibrahim in the Syriac Arabic language, more faith and fruit than any other. Oh, how we loved him and his sons also. Our covenant made in him, love, hate, agreeable, disagreeable, leader, follower, him and his way of life. I myself talked with this one many times with Cap. Remember the one you called Utnapishtim, that's Noah, called by you Noah, son of Lamech and Camila, as a human being in the body and the sign of family. Truth for all in him, but the fish told us, for their salvation saved this world. See, the fish did no harm, and they were the only ones that didn't drown in the flood, right? Okay. Then they have done no wrong, the fish know. Truth they speak unto us, so we were destroyed with the flood. Remember the one called Adapha, Idris, called by you Enoch, son of Jared and Silham, called him to see the room in paradise. I myself have cleansed many times with these self-same hands. I remember doing that not too long ago with Malachi, and we were in a 2-story building. I was cleaning up downstairs, and he was upstairs, and I asked him what he was doing. He said, I'm cleaning up, and I said, come on and sit down here and talk with me a while, brother. We sit down in the living room, we talk. Enoch arrived there. He resisted so well, finding his peace, hadn't done no wrong on earth before our eyes. He said, rent on with the abode. Remember the one you called Captain or Zachar? That's Adam, right? My own son. He was from one of us, cast down with that rebellious Iblis, whose light turned into fire, where beauty turns into ugly. Yet even now, as I speak, his seed is at work against me and our Heavenly Father, Anu. The work must be done. Think. Now, let's return. Breathe. Allah al-Hayyu. That's the life giver. 1, 2, 3. The fresh breath of life. The human being is born again. Now I will tell them of the sinner, fiery. They know not that they are sinners. For sinners, when they pass, are put in the earth for judgment of a lifetime, many millions of times. Why they slay and are slain, as they slay and are slain, as they live complete transgression, and transgressors shall they be. Trust in this division has been made for all souls, even yours not yet born. Now the scroll of the living will be opened before your eyes, before the Torah. The Enuma Elish existed. The Torah is the child of the Enuma Elish, and the family of the Enuma Elish. They are the Castor records, right? The Enuma Elish, the Afterhashes, the tablet of Anzu, Nargal, and Arishkel, Tammuz, and Ishtar, the Ishtar, the tablet of Etna, the tablet of Adapha, the Gilgamesh epics, right? You will see your fathers before he is born. You will see your father before he is born, yet destined to sin by his own hands. Yet your prayers as the holy soul is not in vain. I will for you call them by their names. O hope, where are you? O chance, come quickly. O help, O assistance, O protector. And that this oath might be over them 19 by 7 by 3 is 1. And I've shown you all with Abjad, the science of Abjad, all my numbers, the hand of the Most High over me from the number 7 to 19 to 30, right? How many of you have seen those charts, mathematical charts?
Yes, I have.
Right. Then you know that when he says the 7 by 19, that I'm that final last messenger, right? Okay. The 12 minor great teachers, names, chapters, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah. Okay, well, all these scriptures are listed, all these people. And many of them, to the surprise of a lot of people, will be women, females. They had we sent females to you all too. Like Ruth, Esther, Fatima, Miriam. These women were prophetesses. They were the great lights as well. But in a male chauvinistic white society, they won't acknowledge that. What fools these mortals be. Now, if you all are watching the news at all in politics, you're beginning to see that there's a lot more women beginning to go into office, right? Being voted into office. A lot of women, right? And there's a reason for that, because it's their time. I'm a man, I respect and love you brothers, but y'all been fucking up the world now, you understand? With your ego and pissing on the gate and all that, trying to, a pissing party and all that. And these women ain't gonna have all that bullshit. You understand what I'm talking about? They're not gonna go for that. If you touch the head on the hair of a baby, they gonna have your goddamn head, nigga. And I'm just telling you. And that's as it should be. Y'all done got lost. Trying to make evil fair seeming. You know you're wrong as two left shoes. I told you, straighten up and fly right. Slow down, baby, don't you move too fast. Better reel it back in. You ain't no autonomous nigga, and your will be done on earth and all. You're not the absolute sovereign. Stop it. Okay. Now, somebody take me to where Gabriel met Ahmed in chapter 6. Now, Delante, I know you know where it is. Are you going to respond to us verbally at all tonight, son?
Yeah.
Okay, can you find it in chapter 6 for us? I want to show people. All right, I already have it. All right, go to chapter 6 of the Holy Tablets, tablet 14. But before you go there, let me show you something else. We're going to go to chapter 10 of the Holy Tablets, the mortals. I want to reveal to you all some very powerful information tonight. And this is not what I came to do. This is the Most High directed me. This is not what I came to do. I don't know what you came to do. It's going to be 10. chapter 6. Wait just a minute. Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. It's maybe chapter 6, tablet 10. All right. Chapter 6, tablet 10. It'll be the mortals is what I'm looking for. I've been guided here to give you all that tonight. To share with the world what Satan is trying to block from the world. All right, here's chapter 6, tablet 10. Yeah, 544 in the softback. It's entitled The Mortals. Now, I'm going to take you all, walk with me. Let me take you by the hand. I'm going to take you through some octaves of sound and color. The mortals, lo, if I cry one real tear, do you think that they will hear? Remembering my trials in this holy tablets, being sent to human beings, one must be prepared for their nature. An initiation is like a birth, and the key to overstanding it is to understand that each that is born of someone who themselves were born of someone. All of the pure ones have a Self-Selah. Can somebody explain to me what a Self-Selah is? It's that. No. A Self-Selah is a chain or a link, but by bloodline. In other words, you're in the last days, so you're the last of your lineage, of your bloodline. So if we're looking at it physically, if you take a chain to stretch it out across the Grand Canyon, and everybody that gets that chain connected, the final link over on the other side becomes a bridge over troubled water, Snake River, so that you save your whole bloodline. You are that last link, no pressure, right? In the same way that upon conception, and every normal ejaculation, there's 777,777,777 sperms ejaculated. But now they all rush for one egg. Now everybody here in the sound of my voice tonight, you beat out a whole lot of your brothers and sisters, a whole lot of millions of them. Now I don't know whether you elbowed them or tripped them or you could just run faster or whatever, but you got there and they didn't. So they're all still back there, viable entities saying, all right, sister, brother, you made it. So come on, you can make it. You fall, but get back up, you can make it. You tripped, you beat all of us. Get across it, because see, when you make it, for everybody in your future and in your past, they make it across too. No pressure, right? The mortals, lo, if I cry one real tear, do you think that they will hear? Remembering my trials in this holy tablets, being sent to human beings, one must be prepared for their nature. An initiation is like a birth, and the key to understanding it is to understand that each that is born of someone who themselves were born of someone. All of the pure ones have the Self-Selah. It is a link, much like the etheric cord that stretches forth from soul to soul, and which keeps the channels from the higher realms into the earth plane open. When a mother and father have a child, that child is brought forth unto them in a bodily form. That same child, however, has a spirit that extends back 76 trillion years. For this reason, every mystic order has spiritual masters or beings from higher planes whose responsibility it is to keep you, that child, in tune with the original spark since the beginning of creation. Then on one still shadow time, as I was walking alone, I perceived the presence of a superior being with me. I turned around and I saw no one. I began to fear inside. Then suddenly from me and through me at the same time sounded my name saying, Yanan, Yanan, fear not, for you shall be the bearer of the torch of light in the west and shall save many souls. Yet you are a baby, but you shall mature into a man more rapidly than you can ever imagine. Do not be afraid, for I am about to manifest, startled and overwhelmed, frightened and bewildered. I could not have faith that this was happening. Suddenly I felt a warm sensation 2 inches above my navel. A feeling shot upwards towards the center of my chest from solar plexus, and then tingling feeling centered between my eyes. Immediately, a crystal green and white rays of light slowly appearing, and there he stood, magnificently. How can I make you feel what I felt? How can I make you see what I saw? Many of you heard me tell you about my first time meeting Malachi in the flesh in the year 1981 in Brooklyn. And that's what I told you I saw. He was standing there in that strength. And his aura, I've been seeing auras all my life, the biggest of whom was my mother's. But this one here, it expanded past the walls of the room, so I don't know where it ended at. And his strength, it looked like if an 18-wheeler had hit him, his feet wouldn't even slide, right? But when I was talking to him many years later, pretty recently, I was describing to him when I was staring at his light there. And he said, guess what I was doing while you were staring at my light? I said, no, what's that, brother? He said, I was staring at your light. I said, wow, that's something. Okay. And Anukas and Hotep and everybody else can bear witness to my light, right? Oh, nobody heard that. All right.
Yeah, that is correct. I can bear witness that I did see with my own eyes his light.
And I also, Hotep.
How can I make you feel what I felt? How can I make you see what I saw? He was strong. He was powerful. He was God in what seemed like a whitish green flowing robe, and there was a glow about him I had never seen in any other person, a sparkle bright as the stars. I told him it was bright as the sun to me, right? I looked into his eyes, and I was no longer afraid. For in his eyes I saw depth, I saw warmth, I saw compassion, tenderness, overstanding, and kindness. You have to understand that he and I are one. I knew I was safe in his presence. He made me feel comfortable and secure. He spoke, and his voice was as the voice of the angelic beings. He said, your soul lived over 76 trillion years ago. You have witnessed many cycles, and now you begin to grow. You are of the ancient ones, Al-Hawalina. You are Ilamutajazet, an avatar. You may not at this time understand what this means, but as time passes and you begin to grow from your inner self outward, you will begin to perceive and understand these things. The spirit of your father has awaited its rebirth into this earth plane, and now it is your calling. I was speechless. I tried to stare into him in order to decipher who, what, and from where he came, for I did not want to boldly ask him. And as if he knew what I was thinking and feeling without a second's thought, he said that he belonged to the ancient ones who had descended upon the planet during the time of the master Noah, sons of Mech and Camila, and even before millions of years prior to the birth of your Adam. It was called Project Blue Rock, infested by the Ishtar Command, that's the reptilians, the intergalactic legion of this side sector, 3 placement, 7 from end circle. I bear you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. This being was highly involved in the upper worlds. Right? So this is being that came to Malachi in New York. And he said, many had come here to earth and planted seeds in the earth. And their children to this very day are called star people. And you are with me are star people as well. And their children this very day are called star people. And some of them are called the watchers, or Elohim on their own planets. The watchers are disagreeable. Amun, the overseer, the head of the overseers. Some of them are highly reputable in their own galaxies and dimensions. He and those with him are as real as you are in the alliance of the Space Confederation. There is one by the name of Eshtara. He is the commander in the highest in his hemisphere. He is also the commander of his mother plane or starship, a crystal ship coming from their own. The Anunnaki elders are approaching a time of crises. So 35 billion strong will assist you. That's right. They will lift up and reserve you and behold and hold you in safety for up to 1,000 years if needed. You see the magnetized solar flares now present around the sun in its position in conjunction with the planetary alignment. That's when you all see those blue lights flashing around trees in London and everything. Sometimes when I move moons or stars, especially if I put my hands on somebody's shoulder. And, you see that big orb, that's the magnetized solar flares. Right? its final position in lunar logging of the 5th point of May in the year 2000 of the Gregorian calendar. That's my time, was 2000. The devil's time was up in the year 2000. It combines to create a strong tendency to pull the planet Earth in towards motion. The polar shift, 23 degrees of its true existence, has been greatly lessened by the action of our scientific helper from the mother plane of this planet called Terra. And then he told me that the era had come. I did not know what he was referring to, and so he began to explain. 93 million of miles away from the planet Earth is the sun, that great star that shapes the lives of those on Earth. It takes the Earth 1 year to revolve around the sun, and that 1 year is divided into 12 months. The sun and the other planets that make up your universes orbit around a galactic center called a central vortex. And just as the 1 year that the Earth takes to revolve around the sun is divided into 12 months, so is the time that it takes the universe to orbit around that galactic center divided into 12 periods. Each period consists of 2,075 years, totaling approximately 25,000 years, in an equinox, which is the time that it takes the universe to make one complete rotation around the galaxy. Each period or era has a name according to the monthly signs in reverse order. For example, the universe is now passing out of the era of water, the era governed by all that is physical, known to many as the Doris Samactani, the Piscean era, and it is entering into the era of air, ether, mind, and power, known to many as the Aquarian age or Naru the Law. This new age is a spiritual era that the world is now ready to accept, and you have been chosen to teach the light of the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek to the new souls who are waiting to receive it. Those new souls who realize that there is more to human beings than what he thinks to be his 5 physical senses. Those souls who realize that there are extra senses, that there is an astral body, an aura, and that communications can be made with beings outside of this planet. The 12 eras from the Piscean era, moving counterclockwise, have 8 doors that open up. And the 6th door opens in the lunar logging of the 1976 year of the Gregorian calendar. Disagreeable beings descended down into the earth. That was in 1966. And it opened up, and a lot of them descended. Look at it in the music industry. In Europe, they developed
It's 10:27.
France, Europe, Express. I love you. It's 10:27. So it's time for all gods and goddesses to step outside and perform the miracles that we know that you're capable of. Because I didn't come here to be a central figure, charismatic to any belief. I came here as an example. I don't want followers. I want people to walk with me into the light. So just step outside, all agreeable, shifting, transforming beings, and perform the miracles that you came here to perform with the 144,000 for the world to behold, so that you can capture the attentions and minds and hearts of your fellows and brothers and sisters, so that they might be drawn into that light. We can complete our mission here and let his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So we can shorten the stay in hell. All right? So who's the first one out there? Are you on board? Okay, we got Wayne here tonight.
I see a star.
All right, who's the first
I'm out
one?
here.
Okay, what are you going to move? Okay, the first sister. Okay, what are you going to move?
You can go ahead,
Let me
Keisha.
turn on
You
this
can go
light.
first.
No. Oh, go ahead. You saw it. Go ahead.
Okay. In the name of Amun-Rayay, move clockwise.
Excuse me, I just took a drink of water. I'm going to turn off this light.
Okay.
All right. It's moving clockwise. I see it.
Yes.
Yes, okay. You not
In the
alone.
name of Amun-Rayay, move to the right.
It's Daru the law. Remember that.
Going right.
I love you.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, come closer.
Okay. Make it come all the way down into your chest. I'm not kidding. Did y'all see that John Travolta when that light came down into, what's his name, and all of a sudden he got real smart and all that? That's real.
Michael.
Okay, and you see I'm building up to that crescendo, that time for y'all. Go ahead. The children among you all that are really helping this mission and not just laying on our leg. Go ahead.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, stop.
Okay. Now, Unc in Texas, please, thank you for your patience and perform a miracle for us.
I see a star that I'd like to move.
All right, I see it.
Okay, in the name of Amun-Rayay, run up. And it's running up. Now stop.
Going up.
I love you all when you bear witness to one another. Okay.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, run to the left. And it's running to the left.
Faster.
Now
right.
stop. In the name of Amun-Rayay, run in a clockwise circle. And it's going in a clockwise circle.
Clockwise.
There you go.
Towel hat, Messiah.
All right. I love you, towel hat to you. I tip my celestial hat to all of you. I'm a mere servant, that's all. Remember, you're the ones that's important. I'm just like a telephone. I'm his word made flesh to dwell among. So what's important, the messenger or the one that he sent the message to? You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so it's y'all the ones that shot Tuesday and put Wednesday to bed, right? It's your world. I'm just a squirrel, right? Okay, next. But Tom, what do you see in D.C.? Good Tat, you in Florida. Kim. Anybody here from London? Okay. You in Florida, right?
Too.
It's overcast.
I'm in New York.
Okay. Who gonna move something first? I see. You outside the house, okay? All right, I see it. What you gonna do with it?
I'm a movie star. In the name of Amun-Rayay.
Go ahead.
In the name of Amun-Rayay. In the name of Amun-Rayay. Raise up.
It's dancing a little bit on the way up, huh? Yeah.
It is. He's going right instead of up.
Yeah, I understand. My mind, I broke a little concentration. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's do that again.
In the name of Amun-Rayay. In the name of Amun-Rayay. Raise up.
It's raising up.
Raising up. It's raising up.
All right.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, drop down.
Bring it closer and brighter and drop down.
Dropping down.
Dropping
Do a
down.
little shuffle.
Yeah.
It's dropping down, but it's dancing.
I understand. I heard a car pass by y'all. Every time I'm distracted,
In the name of Amun-Rayay. In the name of Amun-Rayay. Go to the right. Go to the right. Move to the right. It's moving right. It's moving right. In the name of Amun-Rayay. In the name of Amun-Rayay. Move left. Move to the left. Move to the left.
And it's moving to the left.
Moving left.
In the name of Amun-Rayay.
All right.
In the name of Amun-Rayay. Come closer. Come closer.
Come closer to me.
it is. It's coming closer.
A little bit brighter. In the name of Amun-Rayay, go in a clockwise circle. Move clockwise. Move clockwise.
Going clockwise.
And it's moving clockwise. It's moving.
I love
It's going clockwise. Tauha, Messiah.
Right.
I love you, Star. I love you.
You know, when you do things in Amun, every one of you that get named by me, what name do you have in your name?
Amun.
Every one of you have the name Amun. So people didn't realize it at first. My modus operandi was that when you wake up and realize it, that you were doing things in our collective name, all you Amuns, 144,000, right? What I'm doing is replicating myself 144,000 times. And you will do many of you greater things than I. All right. Now who's going to be next? Hotep. What are you going to do?
Hotep. In the name of Amun-Rayay.
All right. What are you going to do?
Drop down. And it's dropping down. Stop.
Want to just keep dropping down and going up without anybody seeing it? You want to just keep dropping down for a minute? Over and over?
Yeah.
Without raising up, just dropping down? In case people don't believe there's a such thing as a bottomless pit, it'll drop. Okay.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, move up.
Oh, you don't want to just keep dropping down. Okay.
And it's moving up. In the name of Amun-Rayay,
I
move
love
to the
you,
left.
people. Bear witness.
Moving up.
Yeah, it's moving left. Oh, it's doing a dance. Oh, boy. Stop.
Yeah.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, move to the right. Stop. No, in the name of Amun-Rayay, up and over and move to the right. And it's moving to the right. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I know. I felt the glitch when I did it.
Tall hat, Messiah.
Got a lot on my mind. These demons have messed up my computer completely. I can't even get on the internet, right? But I got the key to them, though. I got the key to that, you know. Rahul back. What's going on in Florida there, Kim?
More.
Oh, Maror. Okay, how you doing tonight? You on a boat? You on a boat or on land? Are you on a boat tonight or on land?
This Maror.
Maror, are you on the boat or on the land?
Oh, I'm on land.
Okay, what you gonna move for us? The whole creation, right? You gonna move the entire creation, I bet, right?
It's the overcast.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All right. Patah in Washington, D.C. Patah in Washington, D.C., what you going to move for us?
Star.
All right, I see it.
Move to the right. The name Amun-Rayay.
Mm-hmm.
Go on right.
All right.
Move to the left.
Yeah, you all are those star people. Uh-huh.
Go on left.
Uh-huh.
Stop. Going a clockwise circle.
Oh, boy, it dropped real fast.
Moving clockwise.
Moving
clockwise. And dancing.
Yeah, that's right there. About 11 o'clock, before it got to 12. About between 10:30 and 11 o'clock on the dial, it danced. Right, I know.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about what it danced. I saw it, you know. All right. I love you all. Okay, that's enough for tonight. Let's come on in. And Walt, the people in Ghana and California, please call me later so you can perform your miracles. We have to keep those muscles, those spiritual muscles working, so you can get in tune again with the cosmos and reality that you are God and there's nothing that you can't do. All can, you can, right? Don't fall back to sleep and drop down into that dungeon. Solid life for a time on. Yes, go ahead. I hear you. Are there any new people here tonight that want to perform a miracle? It'll be our pleasure, family. All right. Let's go back in and finish this communication. Come on in. Let me turn this light back on. Okay. Yeah, you did. Yeah. You thought it was cloudy, huh? All right. Okay, let's go back to the Holy Tablets because I got a real strong point to make. Walter, did you say you had a Holy Tablet?
I don't have one, no.
But you know how to follow it on the internet, though, right?
Yeah, when it was up, I could, but I can't find it anywhere right now.
What?
Yeah. Saw one for sale for like $800 though.
No, not 800. No. But you need to just type in Holy Tablets, Dr. Malachi Z. Holy Tablets, PDF, and hit
That's what I was using before.
Yeah, it'll come up.
That's what I was using before. Okay.
It'll come up right now. Yeah, you just do it. It'll come up.
Okay.
Right. We in chapter 6. All right. Okay. We're on verse 39, right? When the sixth door opened in the lunar log of the 1966th year of the Gregorian calendar, disagreeable beings descended down into the earth in many forms, including the human beings from the Ashtar command, the ancestors of the disagreeable Halabians, Flugelrods or Hulup, who now seek to control the planet under the name Children of the Light, simply the Illuminati. Then the seventh door opened in 1970 AD, and agreeable beings, the Anunnaki from the Biru, descended upon the land in order to help you. This was my year. 30 years from the year 2000 AD, which is the year 6000, you have 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour, 666. Sensing that I was afraid or feared that I would not be able to retain all that he taught me, he said, try not to retain all that I have taught you, but rather relax, and it will settle itself in your subconscious mind. Once there, when you need it, it will burst forth like the sun in the daylight hours, if you have faith without a doubt, without a doubt, and put your trust in Allah. You will find that we, the Elohim, will open you up, and all the answers to the universe will reside in your chest. Having said this, he was gone from sight. I stood there frozen. Where did he go? I thought, and why didn't he tell me his name? I waited for hoping that something would happen, and a lady passing by said, "Are you all right, mister? You look ill." I spoke back saying, "I am fine, thank you," and then I proceeded to walk away. Suddenly, while walking, fear overtook me. But why was I afraid? Immediately, I realized that it was because he was withdrawing from me. 7 minutes later, I heard a voice from a distance say, "Seek me, and you shall find me. Ask for me, and I will be there. Knock, and I will always open this side of the world to you." And then the voice faded away. I called. I looked around. It was gone. I cried all the way home. 7 months passed before I heard from him again, and then one day while meditating and in a state of profound tranquility, when my mind and soul were in communion with the cosmos, I began to feel his presence. I was sure that he would manifest, but he did not. Instead, a name appeared. My room was dimly lit by candles of the Sabbath, but there, just above my head, in a cloudy yet visible form, was the name Al-Qidar, which in Arabic merely meant green. I stared at the name for what seemed an eternity, and slowly thereafter it disappeared. I sat there in the stillness of the room, contemplating my thoughts. Who was Al-Qidar? And if Al-Qidar was the name of a person, who was that person, and what important role would he play in my life? Was Al-Qidar the name of he who made his presence known to me? Yeah. I knew I had to find the answers to my questions, and so I went to the library and took in books which would give me some enlightenment. Later, I questioned various Arabs that I had been acquainted with in my quest. I learned that there was indeed a supreme being who was called by the Muslims who knew Nabi Kadir and the Green One, my spiritual father. He was referred to as the Green One, where he possessed a green light, a force that he directed, which could sustain every physical form and heal every disease known to humankind. Suddenly, the pieces of the puzzle started to fall into place. For you see, I knew that I had been endowed with a green light, which made it possible for me to heal the sick. For many times people would come to me ill, and I would make them whole again. But it was not until then that I had inherited that ability from. It was a gift from Allah by way of Al-Qidar, the Green One. I could not wait for my visitor to return. I wanted to tell him all that I had learned, and so anxiously every shadow time I looked for him. Then one shadow time, while alone in my room, I felt him staring down at me. Appear, I thought to myself, I want to see you. Suddenly, without warning, he manifested. He said, I am here. And as my eyes gazed upon him, I felt a surge of energy run through my body. My stomach quivered with excitement, and a chill went up my spine. He looked at me and proceeded to tell me that he was indeed Al-Qidar, and that he was known by many other names, the ancient of days, Nabi Qidar, Father Time, Sheikh Qidar, Melchizedek, Maliki Sadiq, Murdoch, and Michael. Yes, he was Michael, son of Enki and Damkina, the head of the Anunnaki who waged war against the bad Anunnaki, Azazel, later called Iblis, Jan, Satan, Devil, those who were created of 180 degrees of evil, fire, who rebelled when the foundation of the world was being established. He said that he was also the head of the material order of the Anunnaki, to which the Essenes belonged. The Essenes, he said, were a group of people who lived around the Jordan area, all around Jerusalem, and who taught the lesser mysteries as opposed to the greater mysteries. He also spoke of the master, Yahshua. Well, like me, he was an Ilamutadazar, and still am, Avatar, who was caught between two worlds. I told you all about me and Malachi and the Solomon's Temple, and it was so crowded, it was packed like sardines. He was teaching, so I stood against with my back to the wall in the back. And he was teaching, I could just see him barely in the light way up ahead of all them people in there. And then he saw me, we made eye contact because we have a mind link. And then he jumped off on the stage, and I don't know how he found room, but them niggas parted like the Red Sea, and they couldn't go nowhere. But he walked till he got straight in front of me, and then he looked up at me, and he said, the reason you're not having any fun at this party is because you belong to two worlds. And he turned around and walked away, and while he was walking away, I told him, I said, so do you. And he just threw up his right hand with his finger and just hopped back on stage and started teaching again. I was like, yeah, you too. And there it goes. Okay. But this is all very real. And you all, yes, you just got through moving stars, star people. Okay. 70. Okay, verse 70. Thank you. He said, Master Yahshua belonged to the ancient Miskota of Melchizedek. In the last days, he said, I, Al-Qidar, will intervene for the special people when evil comes to triumph. I will use you as my vessel to communicate my message of the green light. Fascinated by these words that have caressed my overjoyed soul, I knew I had found a friend, someone I could depend on. He remained silent for a moment, as if in deep contemplation, and then he told me that I would be given an initiation which would prepare me for all that I would encounter as a spiritual guide of human beings. He told me that I would be summoned when it was time, and I would then have to journey to Sudan and seek him at the junction of the two Niles. That's where Akhmet was. Thereafter, he referred me to the section of the Holy Quran which speaks about this meeting with the Elohim Moses in the 69th degree, which was changed to the 18th degree, verses 60 to 62, and his meeting with Master Abraham in the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 18, at the Ediglit, Faratu, that's the Tigris Euphrates, or as you say, the Tigris Euphrates River, right? He then explained the meaning of the sacred water, the fire, and the sacrifice. As he departed, he told me that he would not see me for a while, but that when I needed him, he would be there, and he was gone. Now, that's where I met him at the Forker Junction, the Blue and White Nile, in 81, because when he floated over to me in that light right there, And then I was called a man to like, while I got to walk the weed, while shooting while you're on the car, I believe in lies, books, ain't invested in the final and last day, what have you. And then he summoned me up on the stage, and I embraced him, and I said to his left ear, I love you. And I was speaking to up high, wherever that light came from, right? But when we went into that room, and I followed him for a lot, and then eventually on those 2 prayer rugs right there, the room disappeared. There was nothing but light in place of walls and floors and ceiling right there, and I was afraid to move. Water was coming out my eyes, and he said, are you all right? And I said, I don't know. Man, I don't know. Because I didn't know if I was all right. I didn't even know where I was at. I couldn't see. I didn't have no point of, I didn't know where I was. Just white clouds, and all I could hear was those kids chanting that over and over again, those innocent kids reciting that. But I know one thing, we went back down to St. Jude, and I put my head on the floor. I was praying to the Most High to please make the room come back. And boy, when it came back, I stood up, was looking at my watch. I was just thinking about getting on a jet back to California. That's all I was thinking about. Please don't let this room disappear before I go. And he was saying, don't worry, things like that happen here all the time. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, I hear you, brother, but I'm worried. I'm worried, you know what I'm saying? That was a, I don't want to say it was a bad feeling, but, insecure feeling. Yeah, it was an insecure feeling is what it was, And I thought I was a hard robber in the street. I thought, but I didn't even know water. Like you said, there was water be coming out your eyes, you don't even know it. Right, moving stars and doing these things. It's fascinating. We've been blessed, y'all, so take advantage of it. Don't be deceived, beloved, by the world. Don't let your attention drift. Work for this mission, work for yourself, and earn your eternal throne. Don't wait till you get forever, and then you see brothers and sisters way above you looking down on you, and you say, well, how did they get above me? I know I was I understand, but you wasted your time in non-improvement. You was bullshit. They was doing the best they could with what they had. Were you? That's how they earned that seat. They earned it. Okay. All right. Months passed before I heard from him again, and during that time, my life took a drastic change. It was as if I were a huge magnet drawing all kinds of people towards me. Answers to questions I never thought I could answer started pouring forth out of my mouth. My earth family was amazed. It was obvious at those moments that someone of great wisdom had inhabited my body, and that through me, he was speaking. They would understand that. There were times when I would sit in my room and cry because I felt I was being asked to do something I did not understand. I felt at times as if I had no control over my actions, my thoughts, and wondered if I could indeed give sight to those who appeared blind, give hope to those who appear hopeless, bring faith to those who appear faithless. And most of all, teach them to walk in love, not hate or fear. Teach them to walk in light and not evilness. Could I remove the veil from before their eyes, so that they once were back into the Elohim? I asked myself so many questions. I began to think I was going crazy. Sheikh Hidar had not made his appearance, his presence known to me, in so long that I began to wonder whether I had imagined everything that had happened. Did I indeed see this majestic being? Was he real, or was he a real figure of my imagination? But he was real, all right. For whenever that strong sense of insecurity would overshadow me, I would feel Akidar's presence, and he would comfort. Finally, in the lunar log of the 1970 and third years of Gregorian calendar, I was summoned to take my journey. I was told to go to the Sudan, and then once there, I was to go to the Grand Temple and call to him a sick human being by the name Mahmoud. And you all know that that's my name in the last days, Mahmoud. Of the three men of Akhman in birth, Muhammad in prophecy, and Mahmoud in the end. I was told that his name would be Mahmoud, for he belonged to the final part of the three men of the name Muhammad. Akhman, before the prophet actually came, 1. Muhammad, 2, son of Abdullah and Amina when he was here, with the Quran, right? And Mahmoud when he had finished his mission. That is Akhman in prophecy, Muhammad in birth, and Mahmoud in the end. That's what a lot of people refer to as the Trinity. That's what I guess you would call me. All right. As I prepared for my journey, I was very excited, for I realized that this journey would mark a change in me that would affect not only myself, but the lives of all the people I touched. I knew that the journey would be long and tiresome one, but I faced everything that was to come with great anticipation. When I arrived in Sudan, I felt as if I had returned to my home, my land. The month of June in Sudan marks the end of the hot summer months and the beginning of the rainy season. Therefore, the weather was not as hot as I expected it to be, but rather comfortable. In fact, the early hours of the daylight are rather cool, and during the afternoon the sky is very clear, and the sun is very bright. It is then that the great sun reached its peak in the dusk period, and just after the sun appears to set, one is overwhelmed by the sight of the sky, where it looks as though it has been stroked by an artist's brush. Its color is vivid red with shades of orange and yellow. There are no high buildings to hide the wonder of Anu. Therefore, you can watch the sun and the beauty that surrounds it until it disappears completely. It is a beautiful sight to behold. There are not many street lights in Sudan, so when the stars come, they are very bright against the blackness of the shadow time. The people in Sudan prefer to use lights only after it gets very dark, so they can enjoy the beauty that nature bestows upon us so generously. Having settled down and relaxed for a few hours, I then went to the Grand Temple in Khartoum and sought out Mahmoud, as I was instructed to do. I did not know who Mahmoud was or what he looked like, but I knew I would find him. As I walked through the doorway of the mosque, I was fascinated by its beauty, and as I marveled at it, he put his right hand on my right shoulder, and then he said, "I am Mahmoud. You are home." When I looked into his eyes, I saw depth. I saw pain, joy, and contentment. His face was wrinkled, his beard was white, and his complexion was golden in color. I thought I would have to tell him who I was, but I did not. He said, "I am your spiritual guide. Everybody needs a spiritual guide, and therefore sit with me." I sat with him, and he took me through a whirlpool of information, a rainbow of colors, a spectrum of light, and octaves of sound. He filled my soul with so much information, I began to think he was my initiation. Once I was cleansed, I felt as if I was 7 feet tall, and some of you are in close communion with me. I'll bring you through those octaves of sound and light, and you feel all that information going into you the same way, and it'll make you feel 7 feet. It'll happen. I'll do the Mahmoud with you. Mahmoud told me that I would be summoned when it was time for my initiation. He said I would have to travel to the junction of the 2 Niles, as Sheikh Dar had instructed me, and that once there he would guide me to the sacred of initiation. He instructed me in how to prepare for the initiation and told me that I would have to be at the junction of the 2 Niles in that evening after the sun appears to set, but he did not tell me on what day. I returned to my dwelling, and on the following Thursday, that's the day it is, Thursday, I was summoned to go to the Nile. Several times on my way to the Nile, I saw a man that I thought was Mahmoud. On one occasion, a human being walked by me with a mule, and I said, "Ya, Mahmoud?" The man turned around and said, "I'm not Mahmoud, but I know him, and I think he went that way." So I went in the direction that he pointed. Then I saw another man that passed with a camel, and I said, "Ya, Mahmoud?" He said, "I'm not Mahmoud, but I know him. He went that way," and pointed in a different direction. Before long, I had walked north, south, east, and west. I started to feel discouraged. I thought I would never find Mahmoud or the junction of the 2 Niles. See, it's not a place. I was at the junction of the 2 Niles in Brooklyn, New York. That's right. I sat down, and while sitting, I could not help but notice how beautiful my surroundings were. The ground where I sat. See, you all, when you come to this, you are with me right now, and you can do what I do. And now you're going to know what I know. Flat and green, and there were lively trees all around me. I could see people in the distance in little huts at a place called Tuti today. Huts which were used by mystics for khalwa, or seclusion. As I was admiring the beauty of the land, I saw a man stooping down beside his herd of sheep. As I looked closer, I saw that it was Mahmoud. When I approached him, he told me, "You are assigned to human beings." I remained silent for a moment, thinking about what just happened, and later I said, "I thought I was supposed to meet you at the junction of the 2 Niles." He replied, "You are at the junction of the 2 Niles." I don't remember how I got there. Mahmoud and I spoke for a while, and then suddenly I felt a sensation rising inside of me. He said, step. I took one step, and immediately I was transformed from that state before a tremendously beautiful temple. The temple had a long hallway of doors, and its floor was of marble. He said, follow me, and I did. That's how I followed him down that corridor in Brooklyn into that room, just he and I. As he took me down that majestic corridor, we approached the door. He opened the door, and there before me was a huge room. The walls of the room were white, and they appeared to emit a soft flowing light. That's right. The room was bare except for 12 rugs, which were arranged in such a manner that they formed a large circle. In the center of the circle were 3 rugs. I was told to sit in the center of the circle on the middle rug. I took my place, and then Al-Qadar manifested and sat facing me. We did not speak to each other, but I cannot tell you how happy I was to see him. Suddenly other men began to manifest, men I had never seen. As they appeared, each one would say his name: Elohim Tano, Zodok, Elohim Elijah, Zodok, Elohim Yahshua, Zodok, and then went on to each of the 12 blessings and said their names. There were still 2 rugs left on either side of me. Then Elohim El-Ma'adi, Ahmed, Zodok, appeared to my left, and Elohim Muhammad, Zodok, Muhammad, appeared to my right. They greeted me, and I smelled the scent of rose from Elohim Muhammad, Zodok, and the scent of musk of Elohim El-Ma'adi, Ahmed, Zodok. And the Elohim said, the initiation will begin. Suddenly I felt as if I were tumbling backward, but actually I and everyone else in the room were levitating. I couldn't believe my eyes. Then to my surprise, out of the center of their foreheads, straight to the center of my heart, different colored beams of light came from each one of them. All around my body, I could feel this energy surging through my being. I cannot find the words to describe how I felt, and neither can I go into further detail about my experience during this initiation, for I cannot betray the secrets I swore to maintain. That's right. After the initiation, as we were preparing to leave the temple, Mahmoud signaled to the sky. I looked up, and there, in great splendor, I saw a lotus. In the center of the lotus was a 7-pointed star resting in a crescent. I saw all that. Within the 7-pointed star was an inverted heart, and the word Hua inscribed in its middle. All around the symbol there was a green light, wavering brighter and brighter against the dark violet hue of the sky. I was elated. Mahmoud then proceeded to explain the meaning of the symbol and told me that it would be the seal of the universal order of love, the Sufi order of the sons of the green light. He said that this order would come forth during a time of great turmoil to restore hope in the hearts of human beings, thereby teaching him the essence of his true nature. As the sun is the axis of the solar system, he said, and all the planets revolve around it, so will you be the axis of the planet Earth, and all the people will revolve around you. You will be their spiritual guide, and you will nourish them with love and wisdom. Hence your name will be Al-Qut, the axis, the spiritual guide. All right, now, since you all know that the 3 men are Ahmed in birth, Muhammad in prophecy, and Mahmoud in the end, you will reflect on reading chapter 13, tablet 16, verse 248 forward to 252, where Eliel says to you, I said to you, Ahmed, as an apostle, reciting to you the purified pages, what? What scripture, y'all? The Holy Tablets. That's right. Now, everybody knew that. What was your hesitance? You know? So that's what I'm doing right now, reciting you the purified pages, the Holy Tablets, right? Now, let's go back in chapter 6 to tablet 14. Or ahead to tablet 14. Just so you'll know where you're at and how you're living right now. But I tell you all, yeah, you're going to in the Saltback page 576. But I tell you all, I want you to smile so big your ears are touching in the back of your head, because you are indeed blessed and chosen. Only you can blow it. And I'm going to call on you all to get your small pot that I call Count Them Not after this real quick. Okay, we're going to chapter 6, tablet 14, verse 144. This is Gabriel speaking to Achman. Then Achman said, I have never seen you before, nor heard your many names. I have not seen you at all. Gabriel said, Allah the Most High told me to say this to you. Did he? Have you seen Allah the Most High? Asked Achman. No, I have not seen Allah the Most High. Well, how can you tell me what Allah the Most High has said? How can I accept it? I have not seen you before, and I do not accept the words which you bring now. I would not accept the words of one who has not seen Allah the Most High, and I have never seen you. I've seen him on his throne. Gabriel was shocked. You have not seen me earlier, but I brought you so much. Now I have not seen you, but I am Gabriel. I have not seen you. I do not accept you. You have not seen Allah the Most High, so how can you know Allah the Most High's words? How can I accept what you say? Gabriel went back and complained before the throne of Allah the Most High with tears. Achman said he has not seen me before. I brought him the signs. He kept using the I principle, the spiel, but he did not accept it. He asked me if I had seen Allah the Most High, and I said that I had not seen you. He said that if I had never seen you before, that he could not accept the word of one who has not seen Allah the Most High. Gabriel then asked, O Allah the Most High, Ya Rabbi, it means sustainer, O sustainer, what shall I do at this point? Allah the Most High said, verily, look at the wall of the soul. Then the wall of the soul opened. 1,000 veils, and an indescribable veil was there. Its description has no limit. All the divine rays radiated from the veil, and the second veil was behind it. Green lights were illuminating and radiating from it. None of the rays of this green light could describe the powerful light of each piercing ray penetrated from this world to the world of the souls. Then the third veil opened. It was an emerald green with pulsating light beams, spreading coolness everywhere. Then the fourth veil opened, and the brilliance was there. It is impossible to speak about the light, for from it came a vibration, a sound. The Om sound came from that light. That's why I heard that with the iron principle. So go say this. Go tell Achman that was the sunlight. In other words, when I was in Brooklyn, I was hearing that he was telling, see, time don't mean anything to the Creator. So he was telling Gabriel to tell me that what I heard, what that was. So go say this. Go tell Achman that was the sunlight. When Gabriel looked, he could faintly make out an image emanating from the light. That's how I saw it. Okay, Gabriel asked, who are you? Al-Hayu, he said. That means the life giver. Yah, Al-Hayu are wonderful words. Yah is praise, and Hayu is life. And then period, Al-Qidar, they are secret words, also. Amongst some of the words, they are secret, said the voice. Then Allah the Most High asked, did you see what that was, Gabriel? Did you see who it is? I am the light. The light I am. I am who I am. Yahuwah. They are not two, but one. This form is the that. The grace, it is within me. I am within it. It is the completeness which is eliminating the sounds. I do not speak. It speaks. I exist within it, and it exists within it, and it exists within me. I speak my words, and I speak its words. I explain things to my creation through this light. The one who is there and the one who is here are one. Looking deep into this light, you see three men, Achman in birth, Muhammad in prophecy, and Mahmud in the end. Right? So you're on the phone with me right now. His word made flesh to dwell among you, right? So if you go, I'm going to leave you all with this. Let's go to chapter 13, tablet 16. I want you all to know that it has a very good beginning that a lot of people refer to as the end. Chapter 13. Yeah, chapter 13, tablet 16. We're actually going to tablet 17, tablet 13. you all should be writing these down so you can check them and keep reading them over and over again until it sinks in and you understand what you're involved in. It's the only real thing. Chapter 13, tablet 16, tablet 17. Yeah. Now, they told you to get rid of the holy tablets in the NGO, so I'm showing you why they don't want people to read these, to be in tune with. They're trying to send you back to the Bible, back to ground level again. Chapter 16. Okay. Verse 248. Okay, I can take you to chapter 13, tablet 16, verse 248 as we move closer. Verse 248, which is page 1251 in the softback, 248. As for those who conceal what they know to be true, and idol worshippers could not have freed themselves from falsehood until the clear evidence came to them. He, Ahmed, was once sent from Elion El as an apostle, reciting the purified pages, the holy tablet, all capital underlined. In it are straight inscriptions. As for those who were given the scripture, it didn't become divided until after the clear evidence came to them. They were only ordered to serve only Elion El with total devotion, and they were commanded to offer worship and to give charity. And this way of life is the straight way. Surely those who conceal what they know to be true from the family of the scripture, as the idol worshippers, shall eternally be in the fire of purgatory. These are they, the most wicked of creatures. Merely, as for those who are faithful and work to perfect their beings, these are the very best of creatures. Their wrath will have their reward, the gardens of paradise, Eden beneath which rivers flow. They will be in it eternally. Elion is pleased with them, and they are pleased with him. This is whosoever dreads his wrath, Elion, the Most High. Now we'll go to tablet 17 right there and move on to tablet 18, verse. We'll just go to tablet 18. Lo, all gratitude is due to Elion, due to the source, Elion, Ram of all the boundless universes. He is the elder, the most merciful, the ruler of the day of decision. It's you, Elion, whom we worship, and it's you alone we beseech for help. Guide us to the narrow path of the news bearers who stand straight and firm, the narrow path of those who have earned your Elion's grace. This is not inclusive of those who stirred your anger and brought an everlasting curse on themselves. And this is not inclusive of those who drifted from the light on the right side to the darkness on the left side. Did we, Elion, Anunnaki, and the Anunnaki span your chest right now as they're talking to me right now? And we, Elion, Anunnaki, relieve all the burdens that surrounded you, Ahmed, which weighed down heavy on your back? And we, Elion, and the Anunnaki raised your Ahmed character, so that you too will be remembered for all times. So surely overstand that with every difficulty there is ease. So surely with every difficulty you will find ease. Now this is important, 14 and 15. So when you, Ahmed, have finished with the duties of your mission, that means we will finish. So when you, Ahmed, have finished with the duties of your mission, then you must work hard and desire to return to your Rab, Amun. Amen? Right. Now, we're going to leave on these couple of pages the Patarak. Count one, count them not. But you're going to have to listen with the retaining ear to understand this and not try to interpret it based on your beliefs, right? But listen to these words with their pure meaning. Come on in, Doc. Count them not. Verse 1, Loner Whoppings, hear the word of Patarak, the way. Seek Panasdar Amun-Rayay, and you will live long in the land. For ye have turned and submitted to Pala'im, the spell. Seek Panasdar, who made the Sabat Wu Sahat, who on earth Tahat changed the shadow of darkness into the morning, and made daytime as the rays of rays shine forth, who sent forth the waters of the sea, rivers, oceans, strides from above the earth, which did pour them out upon the surface of Taha earth. Pa Rainain El Panain Nabab Kalu. The name of this master is Amun-Rayay. They say Pa-Amun can be trusted and is real, who watches from the beginning of the Big Bang, birth of Wakat, and the birth of creation of deities, both good and evil, brother of Imhotep Mudizahutwi, to whom Ptah split the staff in two and passed on to each to protect Amun-Rayay, who is called Asha. Ray named that Richard name to whom all true Nawabians call, and they were given Wasat's dominion and Ha-Hat, controlled to him by Ray. And Ray stood over Amun, saying, raise the flail and cook to count those who are in pyramids of the partner's daughter. And in these Sipat, known those who chant and keep a prayer on Wakat, Tasul, Tasul. As for the fallen ones who depart, as without, leave them to their own ways. Do not count them among the 144,000, because they chose their own way, the way of the cursed Pakahanu, the Canaanites, Karadu, Afaf Pakamahu, the children of the Pleiades, Lahainu, the cursed. To the Kakasu, these Negaru chose to live in their image and follow their religion and way of living on Taha earth. So they became cursed in both ways, in their genes as well as their souls. Do they not remember who and what they are? He Amun-Rayay is wise in heart and mighty in strength. He Amun-Rayay, who has hardened his children, Panagaru, the Negroids, who accepted against Pakakasu, Upakamahu, and they will prosper. He Amun-Rayay removed the mountains, and none of them know when and how he raised the snow, ice from mountains to create walkways. He Amun-Rayay shook and shakes Patah, the earth, out of its place, and the pillar thereof, who raises the waters and hides the lands and cities of old. They all did tremble. Amun-Rayay commands the sun, and it rises. It's another star, right? Many of you have walked with me and watched me move the sun. Okay. He aligns it with every 26,000 years with the galaxy. He Amun-Rayay blocked the years of above. He Amun-Rayay spread it out the universe and made Arcturus, Draco, Andromeda, Pleiades, Aldebaran, and Sirius, the chamber of the south of Orion. He Amun-Rayay has done the greatest of things, yes, wonders without number. And we Nawabians say to all of this of Amun-Rayay, where were you when he laid the foundations of Pataha, when he declared things the way they were and become? He laid the measurements of the planet 24,000 miles in circumference, and each mile to align with the 24,000 years of equinox as maker of time and time's end, 4 times 6,000. He will lay out the integrator of energy beneath the earth in lines, lay lines to grid, and lines in the heavens above, whereby are the foundations held together as the very body and its gravity of all life, movements and creation, the triple darkness, and the gateway, the northeast doorway at the right time to exit, when the morning stars sang together at Tasu 9, and all the Karadu, a fat partner's daughter, chant for joy, who other than Amun-Rayay set up the sea with hidden blockers, who make salt water and unsalted water meet at the same point, yet cross each other's way, or who other than Amun-Rayay made this planet a desert and raised the waters, melted the ice, who cast balls of fire to the earth to remove that which corrupted it, who other than Amun-Rayay reopened the wombs for new birth of all things and beings, who other than Amun-Rayay made the clouds the garments thereof, and thick darkness to cover the skies for a time. I, Amun-Rayay, lessened upon noon, beheld those times, the planet Earth, and it was without form after it had been formed. It was no sunlight to shine on it after it had much light and life upon it. But I taught you all to recreate the sunlight. I, Amun-Rayay, brother of Amun-Rayay, beheld the mountains, and they moved and trembled, and all the hills shifted about. For those of you that think you're my brother, calm down a little bit. I love you. I was there, which is here, when the word was spoken, I say 76 million years is not the age, it's the distance as 1 mile for every year from Ilion to this Milky Way or White Way to this blue planet, 76 trillion years away. We came, 29 of us, right? From to get here, a light year is the distance light can travel, and 1 year as it travels 182,272.7 miles per second, 1 mile per. And a year to us was 360, then added 5 for the children of the Asar, Asat, Tat, Nan, Hatat, Satak, and Harar. All are followed omni-source of all, to an omniverse, the all, to multiverse of 27 billion years ago. Multi-atoms birthed the cosmos 18 billion years ago. Also the Big Bang from the black dot, black hole, the pupil of Amun-Rayay, to total darkness, where light can live or exist, where no light can live or exist. Then from multiverses to this universe, 9 billion years ago of gases. The black hole, the mother moon, gives off radiation and supernova and the power and energies from 1 to 9, and gravity is 9 to the 9th power of 9, to make nebula multi-suns called stars, or from ethers. I beheld all this before your world was, and watched it fall and raise to 4 worlds. This is Amun-Rayay talking, because he was there to bear witness and be a scribe for me. I beheld before there were mortals. Then after the first mortals were removed, a few were saved. And all the fowls of the sky and animals moved on, and only those in the waters lived on. That's Noah's flood. When the snake walked on legs, still does, right? As well as the whale, who first lived on land. I beheld, and the best of places well lived became wilderness, and man sank under the waters. All the great cities thereof were gone beneath the waters. I saw the wars between the Dravidians, overseers, and the Caucasus overlords, the move of Laban and 59,999 of his race of lepers, albinos from above the city of grafting, and breeding on north to the underground city of Dawid, Kuye in Turkey. 60,000 of them in all who were saved by their overlords, Pakamahu Palladians, and made them dwell underground for 600 years of sickness and disease. Once safe, they had multiplied and were moved northward to the Caucasus Mountains to live until they spread their evils over the earth. I beheld the wars upon the earth and in the skies above. There were wars in the heavens. And at the presence of Amun-Rayay and his fierce anger. Well, this is what Amun-Rayay said to me, brother of my same father. The whole land will become desolate, yet I will not end all living. The planet will mourn and cry, and the skies above it covers because Amun-Rayay, Amun-Rayay, will it to be. I have my own purpose. I will return it. And he said, they will call unto many besides me, and will not be heard. They will cry and plead for help, and it will not come to them until they have returned to me. Have not the gates of suffering and death not been opened on the Garu Negroids world over? Have they not seen the shadows of death lurking until they ask, where is the way, the Woo-the-Woo-Poo? You know these things because you were there. You have been the breath of the earth, so make this known, being you know it well. You have been reserved against the time of trouble, against the days of trouble. Ask those who claim to know how light is parted, which is seen east and west from those of the earth, and who has divided the water courses of the overflowing of waters, or a way for the lightning of thunder, maker of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, to cause it to rain on earth everywhere no person lives or dwells. Okay. To provide for the desert, for the desert and desolate wastelands, who caused the bud of the render herbs to spring forth out of the womb of earth to grow forth where no person dwells. So no, this planet was not created for you alone, so do not betray yourself. For all things grew in the earth before you were made. All fish swam in the sea before you were fashioned. All fowls flew in the sky before you were created. And insects crawled in and out of the earth before you were bred. So don't think yourself so great that all this was done for you, you mortals. What fools mortals are. Many living are hidden from you. Much you have not seen in the deep waters, inside the deep caves, high up into the mountains, even inside your own body. So much that has been done without you. Can you bind any of the many star systems? Can you? Asahat, or Sabatat, or Mahat? Where were you when the first spark sparked? Where were you when the first sound sounded? Now the prayer of Amun-Rayay by Amun-Rayay in the back of Patarak concentration. Namuz Shalal Amun-Rayay, prayer of Amun-Rayay. Nuk Saduk bi Amun-Rayay. Wu Nabeb, Mol Maru, who I trust by way of Amun-Rayay and his master teachers. Wu Badi at who and his papari. Wu Manzar who lead Panan Zaman Wu Wakwat. Panabab Yanun and his warner for this day and time, the master Yanun. Kalel Hamadat Atirli Amun-Rayay. Najar Shel Pa Patat Wu Pataha. All praises are for Amun-Rayay, overseer of the heaven and the earth. Anuki Nawapu, I am Nawapian. All right, so now that was for clarity. Now, if this class don't come out true and real and start at the beginning to be clear for everybody, then I'll find other ways to do it 1,000 times in 1,000,000 venues, right? But it will be heard. That which they try to, deny, obscure, and make not come out where it won't play right. All kind of, just like the president's finger trying to push through the walls and also these crooked. Can you see that crooked evil finger? I can see it. I can see it. They are dripping with evil. They are, but I can save them if they allow themselves to just be still and try to quench and cool that evil for just a second. And others from being, neutral and not like, like they unimpressed with moving the whole creation. Negro, please. Whatever it is they believe in, it's not connected to the Creator. I love you all with all my might. I love you more than you love yourselves because I know you better than you do yourselves. Trust me. And we are all one. Practice performing miracles. Now, post these posts up everywhere on the planet. And donate, support the mission, get your spiritual packages. And write your testimonies tonight. Explain to the world in your own words what it is that we're doing here. And usher in the Renaissance. Let the people know that we're here and bring the people in till we see. Behold, I looked at Mount Zion, there stood a Lamb, and with him 144,000 with their father's name written in their foreheads. Also want to make an announcement that the Sister Zakiya is fashioning the white gowns for 144,000 so we can look like a cloud standing together. And she's almost completed hers. And when we get through, we're going to send you photographs of her in her outfit that you all can order your own and just give the measurements and then have them delivered to you personally. I love you. I'm Amun-Rayay Asa, Niter Authority, Amun-Rayay Asa, servant Messiah to the 144,000. Yes, it's really me, meaning it's really you, and it's our time. Wake up. One love.